Hey guys, Jen here at the Rogue Homestead. So I'm going to be up potting some cucamelons. We found these at Home Depot, and I've never seen these before. I've seen them, people have grown them from seed on some YouTube channels that I watch, but I've actually never seen them pre-grown at the store. So we found these at Home Depot like a couple weeks ago, and they're ready to be up potted. They're starting to climb. So what I decided to do is I moved my potato plants, and we got these little trellises. They're 4-foot trellises at Home Depot as well. And I'm just going to put 4 pots underneath here so that the cucamelons can crawl up here, and it can kind of be on the patio. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. So I'm just going to up pot these and see how tall they are and let them climb. I might have to tie some of them up until they start grabbing, but no big deal. I tied these together, so if there's some winds, and then I tied it to this post over here to try to give it a little bit more stability. So I hope that works. But yeah, I'm just going to start up potting some of these, and maybe I'll even plant some peppers in the bed behind me. It's still there's a couple weeks where it's supposed to get a little bit cold. But if that happens, I'm just going to keep a really good eye on the weather, and at night I'll just cover stuff, because there's been a couple more nights that I've had to cover my strawberries. So I'll just throw stuff over them and if it gets too chilly out. But it's actually been staying like 50 degrees or so through the nights, so that's been really nice. All right, so here we go. I'm just gonna dump my soil into these 4 pots. Woo. Making a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. I'm so excited for summer. I've talked to a couple different people, and they've told me that they normally don't start planting like their tomatoes and their peppers outside until after Mother's Day. So I've got a little bit of time. I don't want to rush it, but I am so excited to get things outside that sometimes it's just so hard to not rush it. But my tomatoes that I up potted in one of my last videos, they're starting to grow really well. They're not ready to go outside in the ground, so I might end up waiting to do my home starts until after Mother's Day, putting them out, because they still have quite a bit before they can go outside. I want them to be a little bit stronger. But the other thing that I'm doing with my plants is I noticed, so last year, something that I really struggled with doing was bringing my plants out slowly, like leaving my little baby plants out for like an hour and then bringing them in and then leaving them out for 2 hours, like doing that rotation to get them ready, because you don't want to just stick your plants outside after you've grown them and they've been inside for the majority of their life, because they can get sunburnt and then they have a chance of dying or being stunted. So you kind of have to rotate them out and introduce them to the direct sun. So I found that I was kind of crappy at doing that. Like I didn't do it very well at all. So what I started doing is, after my seeds started popping out of my containers here, I started just bringing them outside almost on a daily basis, so that from a very, very tiny plant, they've already been acclimated to being outside in full sun all the time. So that's what I've been doing, and it seems to actually work well for me. If that doesn't work well for you, that's fine. You can just bring them in and out once they get to the size, like a week or so before you want to plant them outside. And then just start that rotating. Leave them out for 30 minutes one day, put them inside, leave them out for an hour, bring them inside, all the way until you can get them staying outside overnight and get them acclimated. But I like bringing them outside. For me, it just works easier. And then I don't have to like set a timer. I just know that when I bring them outside, they'll be ready to stay. Okay, so these are the cucamelons. I've never grown these before, so I'm really excited. I've heard that they're just like a sweeter cucumber, like a cross between a melon and a cucumber, I guess. So we'll see. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm just going to try to loosen up the soil at the bottom, loosen up those roots, trying to be pretty gentle. I don't want to disturb too many of them and break them. I just want them to be able to move around in this new soil. Okay. also debated on putting my ground cherries up here. I might still do that. I'm not sure. Everything's kind of still just like up in the air with my garden, like where I want to place stuff and how many trellises I need, because I'm going to be growing beans and stuff too. And I still have 2 full beds more in the backyard for planting in. But gosh, I just love, honestly, I'm really enjoying having this deck to plant in. It's just right outside our door, and I'm really enjoying it. I kind of find myself wanting to plant almost my whole garden like in pots on this deck because it's just so convenient. And I was watching another YouTube channel today, and they were talking about that. Like, you're more likely to be successful if the foods that you're mainly going to eat are really close to you. And if your garden's really close to you, because I mean, if you have to walk a mile to get to your garden, you know, I know that's an exaggeration, but if you have to walk really far to get to your garden, you're going to be less likely to want to go out there a couple times a day and make sure that it's doing okay and go out there and weed it and all that. But if it's like a couple steps away, like, you're more likely to want to go and take care of it and go visit it a couple times a day. So I know I kind of find myself wanting to flood this area with plants in containers. And you know, I do enjoy container gardening. I enjoy ground gardening too, but I guess I had forgotten, since I had such a big in-ground garden at our last house, how much I do enjoy planting in containers. There we go. I'll kind of show you after I'm done planting these and kind of stringing them up. I'll kind of go through and show you the potatoes. If you guys watch my potato container video, you guys are going to be amazed at the size of at least one of my potato plants. And then I've got almost all of the others. I think there might be 1 or 2 containers that haven't popped up anything yet, but all of them are starting to pop. So something else you guys will have to tell me is, does anybody else have a problem with the slugs? Like, they have been coming out since it's been raining, like probably for a couple weeks. Like, the dogs are even like bringing them inside because they're sticking to them and like to their feet. And I planted onions over here on this side, which I need to trim them. I need to trim up around the onions so that's not, right now it's not the most beautiful bed you've ever seen. But I digress. I found some slugs chilling on my onions, eating my onions. So I was literally down there pulling off these slugs. If I find any more, I'll video it and show you guys. But I've heard of different like YouTubers and stuff being like, oh, we have a problem with slugs. We have a problem with slugs. And in Washington, I didn't really ever have that problem. But here I'm like, what the heck? So I'm going to have to do some research on what I need to do, to get rid of these slugs. But do it like naturally, obviously, because I don't want to put any sort of like pesticides or anything like that out. But yeah, I was pretty shocked. Justin came up to me because Madison grabbed one and she gave it to him. And then Justin, he's like, what is this? And I was like, that is a slug. So, okay, perfect. Now, I'm just going to kind of put these underneath. There's plenty of room for each one of them to kind of go under it. And then I might just tie some of these babies up for right now until they grab it. This one's standing up pretty well. But I'll just probably have to tease these guys into wanting to start to climb the trellis. But don't worry, they'll go up it. They want to climb. They were kind of starting to stick together and like grabbing onto my pepper plants and my tomato plants and each other. So I decided, I'm like, you know, I need to just get these guys planted. Look at that. Oh, that's going to be so beautiful. And I'm really excited because it's going to be right here outside the door, and we're going to be able to check on it constantly and just pluck off these cucamelons. And I'm really excited to tell you guys what they taste like. So I hope that they're delicious. But so that was kind of the uppotting of my cucamelons. Super easy. I actually have some compost here, and what I'll do is, and this compost has more sticks and stuff in it. I don't know if it's that easy to see, but it's way more, I guess, like sticky, if you will. I'm so corny. Anyway, so I'm just gonna probably put a little bit of this on the tops, and it'll kind of act like a mulch. I've been debating on whether I wanted to get a bale of straw or something to put on all of my plants and act as a mulch. I haven't yet, obviously. I'm still deciding if I want to do that or if I want to keep doing this compost method. There's lots of people who just put compost on the top of it and like a mulch. And I don't know. Sometimes I think about like that. I always like, you hear this saying like that Mother Nature's modest, like she likes to be covered. So I always just think that maybe even on top of my containers that it might be nice to have just like a mulch covering the dirt and kind of holding in that moisture. That's what I've heard that compost does also, because it does have more sticks and stuff in it. So we'll see. I have noticed that my potatoes have been staying moist with the layer of compost on the top. So I think that it's working. It's just new to me, so it's just foreign. So sometimes I question that, like, oh, should I go back to the old method and, you know, cover it with straw or something like that. But this seems to be working so far. But I'll bring you guys in for a close-up, and then I'll show you the green stalk. I need to do some research. My strawberries, the leaves on some of them are turning a little bit of a red and yellow, and I think that I might need to add some sort of amendment. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of research to see what I need to do to make sure that they're as healthy as they can be without using any sort of fertilizer, because I've seen organic fertilizers for berries and things like that, and I just don't know if I want to do that yet. I'm not sure what I want to do. So a little bit more research just to make sure that I'm doing things the best way that I can for our family. So yeah, I'll show you guys. I'll give you a little bit of an update. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the cucamelons all potted up. I haven't tied them up, but hopefully I don't need to, and they'll just climb that. But look, here are the up potted tomatoes. They're doing really well. Oop, our shadow is getting in the way. But they're starting to get their true leaves on them. And then there's some more. I need to up pot my peppers. Look, they're doing really well. And then here is the green stalk. It's doing pretty well. We just cut the lettuce off those the other day. But right here, let's see if I can get in here. There's some more lettuce coming up there. And then all of these are radish. And then down there, those are some beets. So I could thin them out, but I don't think I'm going to. I might just see how it goes. And then my beans. I'm going to put my beans back up. My beans back up here. And I'm going to let them climb up our deck and hopefully kind of climb over and around, and we're going to see how that goes. But look at how big they are. They're doing really well. And then I'll come over here. Oh, and so these are all of our plants. Look at how good they're doing. I need to take care of some of these tomatoes and these big peppers. They're just getting so big. Look at this. This is the potatoes. Look at this. Look at how beautiful that is. And all of them are starting to sprout out. Look at that. And then over here is the rest of them. See, some of them haven't sprouted out, but look, this one's starting to. And these guys, pretty soon, they're going to be huge like that other one. This one is the one that hasn't started yet, but hopefully we'll see some movement soon. Okay guys, so it's as simple as that. Potting up cucamelons, super easy and simple. I might end up moving them. I'm kind of scared that the trellis might catch some wind and eventually like rip out all those plants. So that might not have been the best placement for it, but we'll work on that at a later date. So I hope you guys liked what we did today. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe to us. We really appreciate your guys' support. And as always, I hope you have a great day, no matter where you are.